Hi. Okay. I said I was going to come on a little bit later, but my friend Tammy just stopped by my house, and I am going to tag her right now to make sure that this is showing on her page too. Okay. So
We fed 30 families, which represent, usually 5 to 6 people per family yesterday. So
Wow.
We had depleted pretty much everything that you were so graciously brought yesterday. But that's how fast the turnover is going. And some of my rural centers, our Coolidge Center is feeding 145 meals a day right now.
So I feel like moms like me, we're home, we're with our kids, we want to help, and we know there's people that are really struggling right now, and we just don't know what to do. So like Tammy said yesterday, so Tammy, they have centers all over the valley. Where you guys all have centers?
So we're in Phoenix, we're in the East Valley, the Apache Junction Mesa area. We're in Coolidge, we're in the West Valley, the El Mirage Surprise area, and then our 5th location is about to open in Maricopa, but we're not open down there yet.
Okay, so they've got locations all over the valley, and women come to their centers in normal times, and they get counseling, they get
mentoring classes, job help, job skill development, parenting classes and help. And so a lot of that has had to go online, but even we're finding just helping our families, how do you navigate finding something online, or they are working everything off their phone, and how can we get phone cards to them so that they can have the minutes to even talk to a mentor as they're in crisis right now. And then just the incidences of domestic violence. We know that domestic violence increases with any kind of stress, especially financial stress. And now you've got financial stress, you've got families at home, often with their abuser. It's just a recipe for a lot of stress and added abuse for our women, and we're really concerned for them.
Yeah, yesterday when I dropped off food, they started telling me some of these stories, and I just secondhand hearing the stories that they're hearing, it's just soul crushing. It's so hard because you think, okay, yes, people are hurting, but it doesn't feel real until you actually have a connection. And so I just have been so grateful for the work that Hope is doing, and to hear personally the connection of what they're doing. I mean, they're getting these calls firsthand. Domestic violence. I mean, even some of this stuff is happening in real time. They're seeing these women come in, and you guys, there's nowhere for them to go.
That's one of the challenges right now. The shelters have had to be on lockdown because of COVID. So even in the best case where we normally are able to get our women right into a shelter, now we're having to not have a place to send them. So we've had some donors. We still are looking for other donors to step up and pay for hotel rooms for our families. So at least we can keep those women safe that are able to get away until a shelter spot opens. But even some of our women that we were celebrating a month ago that had gotten a new job, that were doing great. I mean, in this environment, most people have been furloughed and are at home. And so those women have now lost those jobs, and now they're struggling. I can't meet my rent. I'm back on the street. And so there's just, the need is huge, and our hearts are heavy, and we just are so grateful for the community coming around and supporting, either through financially or through even sharing things out of your own pantry. As you have extra, being able to share with our families is huge.
Yeah, I came home yesterday, so I had just been collecting a little bit of toilet paper and peanut butter, because I don't want to go. Nobody wants to go to the store right now. Right. But I went to the store, we went, and I dropped off, and the stories they told me, I came home and looked at my full pantry with new eyes, because these women need help.
And they are so grateful for whatever, like one roll of toilet paper, they are just thanking us profusely, or going home and calling us back and saying, thank you, you are helping our family. We don't know what we do without you. And so that is we feel such a responsibility. It's a privilege to help take care of the women, but it's also a responsibility, and it's something we just can't do by ourselves right now.
Yeah, I'm just so grateful for the work that you guys are doing. I know that their staff is just in the same boat that we are. We're homeschooling our kids. We're home. They're not wanting to go to the store either, but somebody has got to help these families. And so here's what we can, oh my gosh, the story that Tiffany told me yesterday about.
That's rough. I'm not.
No. I'm not actually
getting. We actually get active calls of women that have just been beaten or abused, and then trying to help them in crisis get out of that unsafe situation. It's just, there's some really hard stories.
And the thing is too, there's churches and people who want to help, but who's going to staff right now? This is a real issue. Do you want to leave your family and do intakes at a domestic violence shelter and then possibly bring COVID home. So one of the ways they're doing this, you can give, because they're putting people up in hotel rooms.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because you said the shelters aren't taking.
Shelters can't take anyone until they can figure out how to get more testing to clear somebody for COVID. So we have a hotel that's been very gracious, trying to help support keep their staff employed, is offering rooms at just their cost so that we can put women there. And so we're trying to do that as much as we can.
Okay, so if somebody wants to give, they're going to go.
They can go to hopewomencenter.org and to our Give Now page, and they can give. And pretty much everything we're getting right now, we're funneling into COVID relief. So they can give in that way.
And they are open Tuesday through Thursday from 11 to 1. So if you want to physically go down there and take food, you don't have to go in. They can take it at their back door.
And we're masked and gloved when we're at the center. So we have every precaution that we can to keep you safe as well. But yes, you can just let us know, give us a call. We'll open the back door. We'll take it right out of your car for you and then put it right into the hands of our families.
Yeah, yesterday when I showed up around 11, they had full shelves. And by the end of the day, they had empty shelves. Tiffany told me she took $100 to the dollar store so they would have food to give out today.
Yep.
So you guys, this is a need and it's now. So you can give money or you can take food to them. What are some of the most popular things that people are asking for?
For food-wise, we need canned protein. So tuna is our number one request. Canned chicken. Peanut butter.
Okay.
We need pasta. We run out of pasta after like the 5th family yesterday. So pasta sauce, rice, canned beans, canned vegetables, canned fruit. Just anything that they can, that's not immediately perishable because they need to be able to serve it over the next few days, especially on a Thursday for the weekend, that they can serve over the weekend for their families. So any kind of canned food.
And one of the things that Tiffany told me yesterday that broke my heart was like even kid snacks, like cereals and crackers. And I think, y'all, my kids are eating like unbelievable amounts of food. I'm embarrassed to tell you what we're spending on food even right now because we're home all the time. And so you got to think too, a lot of these families are getting several meals a day through their schools. And so now they're not getting their food through the schools. Their kids are home. Everybody's stressed. So kids' food is something that they need to.
Definitely. So cereal, crackers, goldfish, any kind of small kids snacks, and any little kids activities. We're also trying to bring a little joy as we're giving the food, whether we put a little candle in for the women or a little activity book for Easter for the kids. Candy even, which is not healthy, but it's just a little sweet treat that they don't even have right now. So we're just trying to do the essentials and then just something that that brings some joy in the midst of a really tough time.
Yeah, one of the things that I had my kids do even this morning was just write some notes, like God loves you, we're praying for you. So this is an activity that you could get your kids involved with too, and you could put that in your food donation or even just mail it.
Yes.
To the center, and they're putting those in.
We're putting those in every bag that we hand out, which is really neat for our families to know this is the community and the community cares about you.
Yeah, so good. Well, you guys, the need is massive, and I so appreciate. I see all of you guys on here, Melissa and Erica and Christy, Marty. I see you guys on here. Thank you so much. Be praying for.
Please be praying. Be praying for our staff that they're protected as they're there working. Please be praying for our families and for the women that we serve, that God would protect them in the midst of this.
I came home yesterday hearing these stories, and I just cried all afternoon, and it was hard for me to even interact with my own kids. And my kids are in trauma on a different level too, and I just think I had so much compassion for these just these heroes that are serving at Hope, because they're hearing and they're absorbing all of this pain and trauma, and then they're also trying to homeschool and care for their own families. So we really owe you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
you for your prayers.
Gratitude.
And thank you for helping, and thank you for getting the word out. That's huge. So thank you, everybody, for listening.
Share this, share the need, tell people what Hope is doing. There's a lot of organizations in all cities across America that are stepping up and standing in the gap. So while you're at home and while you're working on, all of these things that you get to work on, just remember one of the things that you said to me yesterday that so stuck with me is that, you say it, about families.
The silver lining we talk about in this for a lot of our families is getting to be together and having our family together. But if you are not in a healthy family, then this is a nightmare for you, because now you are isolated at home in an unhealthy situation. You can't protect your kids by sending them to school. And so for those families, it's a really, really hard time. So please be praying for our families.
Yeah, be praying for the families and all the people that are doing this work. And I hope you can hear us. It looks like every landscaper on my street has started mowing and weed whacking. and there's birds and all the things. But I appreciate you guys. Our community is incredible. Let's just get behind the work that Hope is doing here. And again, you can give financially directly, you can take food, you can send notes, you can share this, and then you can also please keep them in your prayers.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Stacy.